Hello, everybody. Good evening. How's everybody doing? Almost time to sleep here. But no, we got a show to do. Hello. I hope Catherine is here. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Michael. Hi, Jacqueline. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Rushdie. Hi, Dave. Hi, Claire. Hi, Factual Fairness. Hello, Carolina. Hi, Sarah Jane. Hi, everybody. Did I forget anyone? Hopefully not. Claire, I said hi. Hi, Barbie doll. Hi, Truth Seeker. Hi, Linda. Hi, Truth Soup. That's a cool name. Truth Soup. Hi, Natasha. Hi, Tumbleweed Weed. Hi, Janice. Hi, just one more thing. Nice to have you here. Hi, Sharon. Hello, everybody. Hi, Leanne. Hi, Whelp Spam. I hope I spell your names right, guys. Hi, Dave. Seeking the Truth with Dave. Hello, my little jungle friend. Is everybody all right? Just waiting for a few more people to come in. We're at 83 now. So, Dave G is quality for sure. Oh, definitely. Hi, what's the obsession? I subscribed to your channel recently. I really think you're doing awesome. Hi, Brenda Bella. So, hi, Carrie. Big thank you to my moderators. And as always, before we get into this, be kind, be nice, no hate, no drama on this channel allowed. And I'm telling you, the moderators of mine will get everything. So they will delete your comments and also ban you from the channel. All right, let's wait a few more seconds and then let's get right into this. Hi, Gigi. TJ, this is CJ with my name. It's easy to pronounce. Yep. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Stacy. Hope everybody is doing all right. So if you guys hear my husband screaming in the background, right, it's the game is on, just so you know. So yeah, I hope you cannot hear his TV upstairs. So it should be all good then. Hi, Xtina. Yes, definitely check out her channel, Xtina. She has also great information on her channel. Checked it out recently. Hi, Stacy Blosser. Hi, Lisa. Good morning, Lisa. No drama. Please don't. No. Life is hard enough, isn't it, guys? So we don't need that here. All right. What am I gonna talk about today? Hi, Mama. We're gonna talk about the doorbell camera and the doorbell footage a little bit. I did not go into the technical thing because I think, everybody can read that up. It's in the discovery, their make and model of their doorbell camera. So I didn't think there was any reason to get into depth on this. It's a normal doorbell camera. And what can I say to it? It's recording, but it's a cloud-based recorded camera. So all the footage has to be requested through Vivint. Then regarding the router logs Vivint activity, but not specifically what Vivint detected, such as doorbell or doors or windows or whatever they hooked up to. Just a little explanation before we get into this. All right, guys? Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you as always. So from now on, I cannot see your comments. So please, I do apologize if I don't see any questions or, if I miss something. So Here we go. Oops, wrong button. Technical issues. Alrighty then, here we go. We're asking ourselves what the doorbell camera actually captured and what it should have captured, but didn't. Or did it, and we just don't know. Questions over questions. So first of all, before we're getting into this, I want to thank Dave G for sending me some messages and images last night, which I used one of those. So my full credit goes to Dave G. I want to say thank you to the Car Connection and Ford.com for their information on the measurements of their cars. Google Images, of course, Weld County DA, Frederick Police Department. I used also Crime Fault, Google Earth. And when we get into the videos, I also used two creators. We're going to watch snippets of two creators' footage they uploaded of Nate's camera and of the doorbell camera. So I'll be addressing them when we get there. All right. So 2825 Saratoga Trail. Is it smaller than it appears? As you guys know, many people have been over at Saratoga Trail to visit after the crimes, to check it out, to sneak peek through the windows, through the garage, to go around and stuff like that. And almost every one of them, I noticed, said, oh my God, it's way smaller than it actually appeared on body cam, right? So I thought I'm going to check it out a little bit into depth and see what I come up with. And Google Earth is your partner on this because you can do so many nice things with Google Earth, right? You can measure everything, distances, width, length, everything you can ever imagine. Google Earth does provide, right? So let's take a look. Here are a few measurements. I'm sorry, guys, if that's a bit blurry, but I wanted to make sure that you can see it all right, especially where the roof starts and ends, the top of the roof and stuff like that. So here you see the bird's view, basically, of Saratoga Trail, the Watts House. And what I did was I measured from where you can see on the left, I measured the distance in inches from their rooftop to the end of their driveway, right? Which is 366 inches long. Same here. I measured from when his driveway starts right to the left, where this friggin' tree is, up until the point where the little one-car garage is ending, so right on the edge, and it's 398 inches, okay? So then here again, I started at the edge of the driveway, where the tree is, up until the edge of where the two-door garage ends, and that's 256 inches. Here on the left, you see that little ruler. When you go to Google Earth and click on that little ruler, it gives you measurements. So you can just, put a point on where you want to measure and just keep the line going. And it gives you the exact measurements in inches, in meters, kilometers, miles, whatever you want to have it in. So what I found important is this. I did my measurements by the beam separating the one car with the two-car garage, right? You see here to the left, this is a vertical beam, and to the right as well, just a little bit closer. This separates basically the two-car garage to the one-car garage. This is also where these little roofs appear. Then here, this is the one car garage is 144 inches wide. So far, so good. Everybody understands. I can explain it again. I just check the chat on my phone. Is it so far okay for everybody to understand? Okay, then let's continue. So, what I did next was I tried finding out how wide and how long Shanann's Lexus was. As you see here to the right, Shanann is pictured with her Lexus she got from Thrive. And she had a 2016 Lexus RX 350. And these are the dimensions. So we have the width is 74.6, the overall length is 192.5, and so on. You can also pause this stream or come back to look in depth into it. But these are the measurements of Shanann's car, okay? So next. When NA arrived for the welfare check, and Officer Coonrod arrived, he filmed everything on his body cam. So we now see where exactly NA had parked her car. It's right in the middle, and you will see in a second that she parked right behind Shanann's Lexus. As you can see here, right? A little bit to the left more, but overall it's basically the same space where Shanann had parked her car, or Chris had parked Shanann's car, in the two-door garage, right? Okay, now let's get into the Ford. Chris Watts' work truck was a 2015 Ford F250 Super Duty 4x4. And you can easily go onto the website, the Car Connection, and it gives you all the dimensions of all the cars ever built, right? So what's important for us tonight is the length. The overall length is 246.8 inches. The width is 79.9 inches. So I rounded that up to 80. Okay, just so you know. Now let's take a look where CW was pulling in on the driveway. Because we can see that pretty good on Nate's CCTV footage. Okay. So let me just stop share my screen because we're now gonna watch that little footage. What I'm about to show you is from the channel Stay Informed. She or he, I don't know who is behind that channel, but she also does amazing timestamps, reading out the discoveries and stuff like that. I have a load of information from her regarding the discovery, because sometimes you miss things, if you don't read it for yourself and you just listen to it and you overfly it basically, then, I always listen to her while I was cleaning. So yeah, Stay Informed is her channel or his channel. And I'm gonna go and share my screen with you guys right now. And we watch together where he actually pulled in. The second. Yep. All right, as you see, this is the channel Stay Informed. Okay, and I'll be gonna blow that up a little bit more. So what you see here, right, is Nate's surveillance footage, okay? And what you see here to the left, right underneath that light source, is something that reflects or throws a shadow from the garage. The garage door is open, so I believe this is the shadow that Shanann's car is actually throwing out there onto the path, right? Okay, now let's see when he backs in, if you can still see parts of that shadow or shade, or if it's completely gone. Okay, let's check it out. Walking out. Keep your eyes on that little spot right here. Any second now, he's already pulling out, reversing. Keep your eyes to the left. Have you seen it? Okay, let's watch that again a little bit slower. I slow it down for you guys. Let's go real slow and concentrate on that spot right here. You still see the shade Shanann's car is throwing out there. Okay? There you go. So we can now say that Chris Watts backed up his truck more to the middle. Not like NA when she was there. She parked more to the left. He parked more to the middle to cover the shade Shanann's car is throwing out there on the driveway. Okay, you can see here a little bit of that shade is left, but these are like centimeters and millimeters. We were not there, and I'm not there to see it for myself, and we don't count in like every inch, but this is roughly where he had backed his truck in. Okay, all right, let me stop this and let's go back to the presentation. You probably think, I have no clue what's going on. Okay, we saw where Chris Watts actually pulled in, right? So we can now say it was to the middle of the two-door garage. So when he walks out and around, he has enough walking space to walk in and out of the garage, and that quite comfortably without, backing up or squeezing through something, So we know that he definitely parked at least straight behind Shanann's Lexus. So he has enough walking space to walk in and out of the garage and around his truck. We all saw him walking in and out of his truck and around his truck. Except once, okay? He was walking quite comfortably, except one time. And I'm asking myself, who is he making way for? Okay, let's watch this. Who he is making way for. If there was something to make way for. As you can see, this is also Stay Informed. Do I have the right spot right now? Nope, that's the wrong one. 1 second, guys. This was the one we just basically saw. Here it is. Here it is. And that's Callum Weir's channel. So check this out. I don't know the content of that creator, but I always go back to his footage of Chris Watts because he has it sharpened. So he tried to, take the fuzz out and all that. So it's basically, it's not edited as such, but the quality is just a little bit better. Okay, so now watch closely when Chris Watts walks by his truck in full sight of the camera. He was walking around his truck with no problems at all, but not here. Watch. Have you seen it? Who is he making way for? Watch this again. It's coming around. Have you seen it, guys? Who is he making way for? Wanna watch that again in slow motion? Let's do it.
Mama, I just have to get my charger.
I don't have your charger, sweetheart. Oh, here you go. Sorry, that was my son. Okay, let's watch that in slow motion. Oops, that was a bit too far. There you go. He's coming around the corner. There you go. He's going to the side. See it? Can watch that again. Something wrong now? Ah, there you go. Here he comes. Back to the side. Have you seen it, guys? Who is he making way for? Somebody said the video is not playing. Oh, I have it paused. Sorry. Sorry, guys. I think we should be good. Okay, one more time and then we move on. There you go. Blow it up a little bit. Here you go. Here he comes slowly. Steps aside and squeezes through into the garage. Somebody saying nothing can be seen? Hold on, you guys. Oh, the wrong screen is being shared. Oh my God. Sorry about that. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, again. So sorry about that, guys. Okay, which one did I want to show? Not this one. We just watched this. Give me 1 second. Oh my God. That's embarrassing. Okay, I think I have it, you guys. I'm sorry. Nobody's perfect. Can you guys see it now? Did you see anything at all? Oh, you didn't see any of the making way stuff. Okay. All right, now it's sorted. What I was explaining the last 5 minutes is that Chris Watts is making way for somebody. Okay, so I obviously was watching that footage all by myself. So I'm gonna just share that again with you guys. First, I'm gonna share it in the standard speed. Okay, you just concentrate on this on the left side, right where his truck is, when he comes along and goes into the garage. Okay, so normal speed. See that? Share it again. Stepping aside a little bit. Have you seen it now, guys? He twists, exactly. He twists. And he did not do that before. Okay? He's going to the side. Now let's watch that a little bit slower. Comes around. Steps aside. And squeezes through in between an object he's making way for and his truck, right? He's dodging something or someone, and now I see the hoses in the truck. Yeah, the hoses are in the truck. I never thought they weren't. Okay, now you guys, this was just a quick side note I wanted to share with you because I noticed that today when I was watching through that stuff. So I'm gonna keep going with the presentation. So who was he making way for? Something was there, okay? So let's get on with the measurements. So his Ford, as we know, is 79.9 inches wide. This would be that space. You can see where the rooftop ends, and I put it in the middle. So this would be 80 inches wide, okay? So his truck is 247.8 inches long. Okay, so I put 247 inches because I couldn't get 0.8. And yeah, some difficulties there. So just so you see, his truck is quite long. Okay, it goes almost all the way along that tree, right? So this is the exact model I put in there. That white truck is the exact model, obviously not with all the hoses and tools and stuff in it, but it's the model of a 215 F250. And I put the exact length and width as it would have been parked in the driveway. Okay, so on top you see the roof of the 2-car garage where that left red arrow is, and to the right is the roof, the middle of the roof of the 1-car garage. To the bottom right is the area where the doorbell starts recording. Okay, just keep that in mind. And here are a few images of the driveway for a better understanding how small the dimensions really are. So how small that driveway actually really is. You see that female officer standing right in the in front of the 1-door garage. Right there. Here's her again. And Chris parked his work truck right behind her on that Monday. We saw it parked there when Shanann got home. And he parked it on the Monday when he came home from the oil fields, right where that little green spot is to the right. So you see, this is an officer walking out, obviously on the body cam. And it's really not that big. You know, it's not that big as we thought it would be, because it appears bigger than it really is. Once you get the measurements and stuff, you realize it's not that big, right? Here she again, in front of the 1-door garage. And this person coming out of the garage, walking sideways, slightly to the left, okay? Do you see how close the person to the doorbell recording area is when we look back at this? So the person walking out, I'm not saying it's Chris Watts, I'm not saying it's anybody else because opinions differ. So I'm just calling that person the person. So the person is walking out. You see where the roof splits to the left to get to the truck, right? Which was parked right between the bottom of that arrow you see on the right and that now burned grassy little area right there. So the person walking out would have probably caught the way for the doorbell recording area. Not saying it would, but it's quite possible. So Dave G sent me this picture yesterday because he had it all figured out on where the doorbell camera starts recording, right? So you can see that here to the right where he put the area in red, and there is a officer standing there. I believe that was in September or something when they called the officers at night, but I'm not sure about this. Okay, then here it comes, August 13th. Shanann got home 1:48 a.m. and we're gonna watch together the doorbell footage right now. I hope I get it right this time. So let me share with you. Okay, here you go. Can everybody see my screen before I start showing, and then nobody can see the screen and I'm talking to myself for 5 minutes? Can everybody see the screen? Catherine saying yes. Yep. Okay. I haven't started yet. Okay. I haven't started yet. Just so you know, I just want to know that if everybody can see. the screen right now, okay? So this footage I got from a channel called Ghost Walker, and I got Ghost Walker's footage for one reason. He has the whole start. You know, when the doorbell footage was released, it starts recording somehow. And all the news channels and other channels, they don't have that. They start recording when Shanann gets out of Nicole Atkinson's car, right? And is right at the edge. But Ghost Walker 40, check out this video. I have no clue what his other content is, to be honest. I just come back if I want to see the doorbell footage, I come back to his channel because he has it from the start. Okay? So, this is the start. You don't see anyone, but the doorbell camera actually already started recording. Okay? Now let's watch this. Normal speed first. Oh, that's not normal speed. Sorry. What's the matter with you today, Tanya? What's the matter with you? Okay, here we go. Normal speed. See? Shanann appearing, walking up, putting her code in. NA is leaving. Waiting a little bit. So, NA is waiting for Shanann to get in. You know, female friends do that, especially because, you know, they want to make sure you get into the house before they are leaving. Because it could happen, you know, that somebody's snatching you in front of your house or something. So this is what friends do. They wait until their friend is inside. Okay? So nothing wrong there. Waiting, and then she's leaving. Okay? Now let's watch this again. A little bit slower. A little bit slower. I put it on 0.25. There Shanann appears. Comes up. NA is backing up. Shanann is having her suitcase, right? Punching in the code. NA still waiting in the background. Still waiting for her friend to get in. Okay. Put it back to normal speed. She's going. There again. She appears. And have you seen where she appears? Watch closely. Right here. She crosses the line of the area where the doorbell camera starts recording, right? But we do have this, right? So it already started recording. So what is there missing? When did they actually pull up into Shanann's driveway? Were they already there? We don't know, right? But what triggered the doorbell to record shortly before Shanann steps over that lawn area. Here you see. And like I said, guys, I have never on any other channels or news channels in particular found footage where it shows this for 2 or 3 seconds even. Okay, this is Chris's truck here, right here. So, like I said, I have never seen anyone with that footage. Yeah, Dave, she's looking at her phone, that's true. So, but who tells us if they weren't already in that driveway? We don't know, right? So she crosses and A backs up. So there's a little bit of that footage missing. What happened in between here and here? Weird, right? Okay, just so you know. Something weird going on here. And I got an email today. Or no, actually it wasn't an email, it was a Facebook message. And somebody said it took a year or so, or 6 months before they even released that footage. Okay, so what reason is there to release that footage so late? That is really weird. And I looked today, and it might be that because I'm living in Europe, that not every news channel websites are accessible from here, because sometimes I get the notification that I cannot view their content for some reasons because I'm in Europe. But I haven't seen any footage of that doorbell camera that starts earlier than when Shanann actually stepped over that lawn area. Right? So, I don't know. So this is the area of recording. As you can see here, it starts when she steps over that little edge of where the gravel is and the grassy area, but it actually starts recording way earlier and way more. But we unfortunately, don't have that footage, right? So according to the measurements, this again is Dave's picture he sent me last night. I just pimped it a little bit. So based on the measurements I did, the red little box you see, this is where Shanann's Lexus was standing. And right in front of that was where CW's truck was parked. Then you can see to the right, thanks to Dave, that's the doorbell recording area. And how do we know it's the doorbell recording area? Because something triggered it way earlier than when Shanann stepped over that grassy area, right? Wrong screen? What do you mean? Share screen again. Oh. What's the matter with me today? Stop sharing. I think it's my internet or something. Can that be? Okay. There you go. Now we have it. That's the right one. Again. Guys, you must hate me today. Okay, so again, this is the picture Dave sent me last night. I pimped it a little bit. On top in that little box is where Shanann's Lexus would have been parked. Right underneath you see CW's truck where it would have been parked and the doorbell recording area. We know it's a wider recording area than when Shanann stepped over the lawn because it started recording a little bit earlier. And I'm guessing, I don't know, We don't know. We don't have that footage, but it might be a possibility that Nicole Atkinson already had been in the driveway to let Shanann out of the car. And then when she was backing up and stepped into the lawny area, the doorbell camera catched her walking, right? Like you see here, let me go back real quick. Like you see here, the person coming out of the garage walking sideways, slightly to the left. You know, you see how close that person is walking along this grassy area to the left where their entrance door is, right? Same here. So you can see in the bottom left picture, on top you see NA leaving, backing up, ready to leave. And you can see way down to the left, this is where Chris Watts parked his truck. So he would have been, or she, or whoever walked out of the garage, would have crossed the recording area of the doorbell. Okay? Here. I put the little arrows, so you just see how small it really is. It's not a big house. It seems like a big house, but it's actually not, according to the measurements. Okay? So, is there a possibility based on the measurements that the doorbell camera could have recorded something? The question is, if it in fact did record something, why didn't we get to see it? Was the doorbell footage we saw of Shanann coming home edited? Are there parts missing? And also, what I asked myself, why did nobody ask Nicole Atkinson if she helped her pregnant friend lifting her suitcase out of the trunk? Wouldn't we have seen NA doing so on camera? Wouldn't we? I mean, she's pregnant, right? So getting her heavy suitcase out of the trunk or, you know, or from the backseat or wherever she had it. Remember, Nicole waited for Shanann to get into the house. She waited for her to make sure she's in there safe, right? So why wouldn't she help her getting her suitcase or stuff like that? We most certainly would have seen that on camera, right? So this gives me an indication that the doorbell footage is in fact a little bit edited, maybe? Because why don't we have the full thing? Or why was it released and cut into pieces and now you cannot find it anywhere? So these are the questions I have. And also, if we all saw the area of the doorbell footage, of the doorbell actually recording, right? It was a way wider area. So if in fact Chris Watts brought the bodies out there and, you know, Bella and Cece running around and Dida running around, why didn't we see what the doorbell captured when he did that? Why haven't we seen the person, or why didn't they release the doorbell footage of the person walking out, so we would be sure it's not NK or her friend or somebody else other than Chris Watts? These are the questions I have, right? So, the next time on the Reddix, I'm gonna go, I thought about this a long time, but I'm gonna go down that red car rabbit hole. I wanna know, was there a red car? Or is it your eyes playing tricks on you? Right? So, and when I saw last night on Dave's channel that he put up a picture of a funny red car with Rourke in the background, go to his channel and watch his latest video, guys. You're gonna crack up what he put up there on screen. So I was thinking, man, I either debunk that or I say at the end, yeah, there's really a red car. So I want to go down that rabbit hole with you guys. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Let's see what we can find out together. And let's do this. I mean, yeah. Dave, I need your help with that probably. And if you want to have that episode on your channel, feel free. Yeah, but I definitely want to go down that rabbit hole because I see so many people talking about the red car and the red lights. And, I don't know. I cannot say for sure this is a red car. I don't know if it's Betty, if it's her real lights reflecting on something. I don't know. So that's why I want to go down that road. If you guys are with me, of course. All right. So what do you think? I'm going to stop sharing that and also put up the link. So if anybody wants to join me, do so now. Hold on. I put the link up in the comments. Let me just know what you guys think about this. I gotta read up a little bit on chat. So yeah, there are many things that are questionable, isn't it? What was wrong with me today? This might be a lack of sleep or something. Dave, do you want to come on? Or is it Monday? Is it Monday in Australia right now? My family keeps walking past and it drives me nuts. Mirrored faces? What about mirrored faces? They found the red car. Yeah. Everyone go over to Dave's channel and check out that red car he put up because he found it, the real red car. And I just want to dig in a little bit deeper to if I also can see it or not. But Dave definitely has it. Catherine, yeah, you wonder what Danielle or Danielle, like NK called her, is driving. Yeah, I want to know that too. But we might never know. We might never know. Hello, my little jungle friend.
G'day, how you going?
Hi.
Okay, g'day
I
everyone.
apologize, guys. I don't know why I would share the wrong screen and stuff like that. I'm just all over the place today. How are you?
Of times, I'm very well, thank you. A couple of times you may have heard your phone, Tanya's phone ringing in the background. That was me annoying her,
Yeah.
letting her know that she was on the
I was like, oh
wrong
no.
screen. But it's okay. Look, I've done all sorts of strange things over at my channel, so you don't need to worry. It happens to everybody. So
I'm a perfectionist. I can't
yes.
stand making mistakes. But yeah, it's fine. It's
It's
okay.
okay. All good. You did a great job. I think it's very interesting when you show where Chris's truck was parked, whereas he had all the room in the world to actually walk straight up the side of his truck
Right.
and walk straight in that garage. Why he actually tilted slightly
Yeah.
to go past somebody is quite interesting. That's what it looks like he's actually done. It looks like he's actually, but was he actually doing it? Because when you actually see that garage footage, isn't there shelving along there?
No, I checked that when Coolrod went in, and all there is a lawnmower.
Okay, all right, no problem at all.
But
That's fine.
the
Yep,
thing is, right? He went past his truck with no problems,
correct.
like 5 times. But this
Correct.
time he didn't, and that was
Yep,
kind of weird.
yep. So it does look like he's definitely gone and gone past somebody. It looks like that's what he's doing, and who knows who it is? It could be anyone. People think it's NK. It's NK. Well, look, it could be. I'm going to throw them all out there for everyone. It could be Troy. It could be Jim. It could be NK's father, or it could be Danielle Hadel.
Yep.
We do not know who he possibly stepped aside for. That's the whole thing we don't know. Okay,
Exactly.
but one of those people who I believe are definitely involved in this crime, right, in some way, shape, or form. I think they are all involved, but to their level of involvement is very difficult to actually ascertain at the moment.
Sorry?
It's very difficult to ascertain for me
Yeah.
the level of involvement of each and every one of those people I've just named.
Yeah. I mean, and it also, they are all quiet. Why are they so quiet?
That's the thing I don't understand. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there that could have been paid a lot of money for a lot of interviews, and I believe that there's an NDA agreement somewhere along the lines with Anadarko, which has stopped any of them coming
Yeah.
forward and talking.
Yeah. And also, when she said in her interview, I repeat myself, but I say it again. When she said in her interview, they terminated my contract, but they're going to pay me anyway.
Yeah, I know. Who
You know?
does that? Who pays them
Exactly.
people for a couple of months?
Exactly.
After they've been terminated, because she wasn't there long enough to even get a retrenchment payment of any kind.
Exactly. Yeah.
She was only there from March, and she was actually contracted. So
Yeah.
it's actually it's got nothing to do with Anadarko, whether they were going to pay her for a couple of months. They owed her nothing.
Exactly. So why pay her? And then
It
she's
doesn't
like,
make any sense.
I have to sell my car because I'm running out of money. And 5 minutes before that, she said, oh, I'm so good with money. My reputation is so good and everything is fine. And, I mean, which one is it?
Yeah, I don't know. There's something seriously wrong.
Yeah.
And I look forward to you. Sorry. Before I go to that subject, it's very interesting with the doorbell footage of Shenan's, because
Yeah.
as people know, I've always been very skeptical of the doorbell footage. I've always been concerned that the footage that we were provided is not from the day in question. I don't believe that Shenan's hair was anything like that when she was in Arizona. I know you've gone and had a look at a few images of her when she was in Arizona.
Yeah.
And I believe her body shape was different to the body shape of Shanann walking up to the front door. But the thing is, it's an extra widescreen. When you actually have a doorbell camera that's extra widescreen the way it is, it actually makes everything look bigger
Yeah.
than it actually is. This is what people need to realize. So Shanann actually looked bigger than she actually was. So when people say she looks bigger in that than what she was in Arizona, it's the actual camera footage is actually making her look bigger, as
Yeah.
opposed to her actual size walking up the stairs and walking into the house.
Right.
So it's yeah. I just think they've released that just to mess with us. The lights on across the street look like there's a party going on. And at 1:48 in the morning on a Sunday night, going into a work day on a Monday morning, I don't believe that house would have been lit up like a Christmas tree the way it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I do understand what you're saying, but then I looked into this, right? So how do we explain her NA leaving and seeing that on Nate's footage at exactly 1:49?
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Somebody dropped something outside.
No problem.
I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't know.
But
There's
what they
something.
do,
Oh,
what they do, I have the feeling, and it's just my personal opinion, that they had messed with that doorbell footage because it started recording way earlier than anybody showed up on footage. So we know the person walking out of the garage crossing the line where the
Yes.
doorbell starts recording.
Yep.
Where are these
Where is that footage?
5
Oh,
seconds?
where's the footage of NA rocking up on Monday and going to the front door? Where's that? Why aren't they showing
Exactly.
that? Why aren't they showing
Exactly.
footage of her son climbing on the bonnet of her car to look in through the little windows at the top of the garage? Why aren't
Yeah.
they showing that footage? Like there's what why aren't they showing it? They should be showing it all, everything that occurred that Monday morning. And the big one is, why aren't they showing the footage of Shanann at the airport and what clothes she was wearing?
Exactly.
That is vital.
Yeah. I have never experienced a missing persons case when somebody was missing from the airport, or, they get everything. They request the
Yep.
airport footage, everything. And they cannot say, oh, it didn't work or we don't have any footage, because that would be a blatant lie. Every
Yeah,
airport has footage, and that would
absolutely. There'll
be,
be footage from her walking straight out of the actual plane to start with. Then there'll be footage of her walking up the gangway or whatever. There'll be footage of her on the travelator. There'll be
yeah,
footage of her going to collect her luggage. There'll be footage of her walking out the front doors and then walking towards the car park. And then her going to the actual car park, there'll be footage. There'll be
yeah,
footage of her getting in the car at the airport. There'll be footage of that vehicle leaving the property of the airport. There'll be footage of that vehicle on a freeway. There'll be
yeah.
footage. You know what I mean? Why can't we see where that vehicle went?
Because they didn't pull the footage, or they didn't ask the airport to release or to give them the footage.
Because they had tunnel vision.
Yeah,
Tunnel vision
exactly.
for Chris. And that is it.
And everything is available through Vivint, they could have requested. I mean, maybe they did request it and just left it out of the discovery when they made it public. We don't know. But they wanted him behind bars so bad
Yep.
that I really ask myself, where is the footage of him loading the bodies? Because, like we saw, their driveway is not that big. So he must have crossed the line at least when he came out of the garage to walk to his truck. Where is that
Or
footage?
whoever that person was.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
so there
it's,
is so much that we don't see,
yeah,
but
no
there's
wonder
so
that people
much
are asking
that we
questions.
do see that is irrelevant.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Like, they've kept in Trent Bolt and Amanda McMahon's interviews when they were proven liars. They kept that in the discovery, right? So they're providing us with that information, which is actually, we all know now to be lies, but they don't put in what is factual, what we actually should be seeing.
exactly.
There is,
Exactly.
for those that don't know, Dave G just destroyed my morning. England just lost the Euro
I
final
know.
to Italy.
That's why you don't hear anybody screaming in my background.
Okay. Yep.
Oh,
So, oh well, there you go. I guess they're going to be all happy in Italy today.
yeah. And if you want to have this red car stuff on your channel, you're more than welcome.
No, no, we'll do it on yours. No, 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 no. I believe there's I believe there's a car. So this is the thing right now. AD did a fantastic live at some stage recently, within the last 6 weeks, or within the last couple of months, right? Where
Yeah.
the video was enhanced. Nate's footage was enhanced. You can actually see the lights of Betty's vehicle on the fence across the street turn left.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the red car goes straight ahead at the same time. Well, those two cars were not in the same driveway at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Which
true.
I believe there is a vehicle on that gravel driveway I've always believed there was a vehicle on the gravel driveway that drove straight out. It went straight out of that gravel driveway. The vehicle goes directly straight, which is straight up Steeple Rock Drive.
Yeah. True Crime Rocket Science did that was like 2 years ago or 1 year ago. I can't remember. He did a good video on that also, and he said there was no red car because he compared like the rear lights. He compared the reflection of Betty's car into the neighbor's windows. He compared all of this. So as soon as I saw his video, I was like, nah, there was no red car. But now I want to just dig into this myself and see what I can come up with. Maybe I change my mind. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, ever since I saw his footage, how he explained everything, to me, it didn't seem like a red car. There was there was some sort of car, but I don't know if it wasn't Betty's really, because if you think about it, she doesn't really have to go that much to the right. She can also just drive through.
Not really. She actually has to turn right then left out of her driveway. She has to turn right then left to actually go up Steeple Rock Drive. Okay, but if she goes left, okay, the thing is, if now the that community area that they have up around the back on Saratoga Trail, up around the like if she goes left and she goes left and then around to the right on Saratoga Trail, it's actually the long way out of the estate for her to actually go to her gym. It's actually the long way out for her to go left.
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't make any sense for her to turn left. But that particular video I did see on AD's channel, you can clearly see the lights reflecting on the fence across the street, and it actually, the vehicle goes left. But the thing is, we don't see the tail lights of that vehicle after the red vehicle goes straight ahead.
Yeah.
So there's something seriously wrong. There's something seriously wrong with everything we've actually been provided with compared to what I believe actually happened.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, I just want to see what I can come up with when I dig into this. And, to be I'm going into this with a fresh mind now. I'm not saying there wasn't a red car, and I'm not saying there was.
Yep.
I just want to see for myself.
Well, you do it. I want you to present it the way you do your presentations on your channel, with an unbiased opinion, which I believe would be the best way for you to actually go forward looking at the red car. It'll be that way. It's you'll take ownership of the opinion. Whereas if you come over onto my channel where there'll be, X amount of people watching all with their opinions and then me throwing in mine, it may actually have a difference on what you actually think. The way you present things is so professional. I don't want you coming onto my channel and it taking away from your thoughts. So I'd much prefer you do it on your channel and present it so professionally the way you do present absolutely everything that you do. And apart from sharing screens, you need another. you do need another screen as soon as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
No, I wanna. I feel embarrassed that this happened, and I was talking like for 5 minutes to myself.
I know.
You don't see a screen? Shit.
I know. It's like me when I'm talking to people in my car on the way to work, and I'm actually having a yabba conversation with them on the phone, and then I realize, oh shit, we've been disconnected for 4 minutes, and I've been yabbering away, and I've lost connection with somebody.
Yeah,
so,
it happens.
Don't worry, it happens. It happens to everybody. Look, I want to say, I truly do mean this. You are doing an absolutely brilliant job.
Thank you.
I'm proud of the way you present everything on your channel. It is first class. It makes everybody open their eyes. The work you put into that video just now by using Google Earth and distances and lengths, the length of their driveway, the lengths of the vehicles, the width of the driveway, the everything. The way you're actually presenting it is top notch, first class presentation. I truly mean it. You are a very, very welcomed person into our community, and
Thank
I've got
you.
absolutely not enough good things I can actually say about you. You are amazing.
Thank you so much, my little jungle friend. That's
No,
that's an insider joke.
that is. Whenever we talk on the phone, everybody, she says, "Hello, my little jungle friend." It's quite funny.
I don't know where I have that from. Yeah,
Okay,
but
look, I'm gonna disappear now, but I just
okay.
want to let you know that you're doing an absolutely stellar job, and you
Thank
deserve
you.
everything that comes your way because, oh man, I'm in awe of the way you present things. Amazing,
Thank you so much.
amazing.
All right.
Okay,
See you later. Have a good
thank you,
day.
everyone. I
Thank
will.
you for
Bye.
coming on.
No worries.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. What can I say? Betty turned left. Yeah, I wanna, I'm not from now on, I'm not saying I don't see it, and I'm not saying I see it. Okay? I wanna go into this unbiased, and let's see what I can come up with, and do my own research, and then I can, of course, then obviously it is also my opinion after uh presenting what I came up with. But maybe there's an explanation. And as you guys know, I always look for the easiest explanation to make things more, understandable to people. So maybe I will debunk myself within the research, which happens quite a lot, like today as well. And today I realized, every single doorbell footage I watched had never ever this 3-4 second um, footage where actually nobody showed up. So I was wondering and I was looking around. Could it be, that this person paused it? Or could it be this? Could it be that? And the only channel I found it was on CBS. They had the same footage as the creator I just showed you on screen. And I don't want to give any credit to CBS because in my opinion they are big enough. So why not give credit to a small channel? And like I said, I have no clue what he's uploading or anything like this, but I go back to his when I want to look at the doorbell footage because it's the most accurate. And the others all are, they capture her walking in or passing or crossing that little path, the grassy path, but not there what was there before kind of thing, and that's why I like that. Yeah, it's a little bit of research all the time. I compare and try to give you guys the best footage. And sometimes mistakes happen. Like today, I don't know where my head is at. Maybe it was because of the football game, England playing. My husband is English. So I was a little bit distracted from this. But I hope I could show you guys good information as always. This is what, my heart is at, to give good information out there, unbiased information, and just basically explain in my own words, even if sometimes I forget how to spell things or forget to friggin' play a video. But yeah. Okay, guys. We're gonna get into this red car, definitely. But this won't be a live stream I'll be doing on the weekend, Friday or Saturday next week, because I am going on a business trip on Tuesday until Saturday, and I will be home Saturday very late. So I'm gonna gather my information today and tomorrow, and then I try to put things together on Sunday next week and can hopefully present it to you by Sunday 5 p.m. Eastern. So Jenny, you cannot become a member on iPhone. It's not working. You have to do it on a computer or a laptop or a tablet. It doesn't show. Dave had a good tip last week, something going around it and open the channel through Safari and not through the actual YouTube app. Maybe that works for you, but I don't know exactly what he said. If Dave is still here, maybe he can help. But yeah, it's not possible on an iPhone. You don't see that little button where it says join the channel. All right. What I also wanted to address, I get so many emails from you guys, so many nice emails from you guys with tips, with suggestions, with information about the case and stuff. And please, please, please bear with me if I cannot answer you on time, or if it takes a few days or even a week. I really apologize, but I will definitely get back to every single one of you if I have the time. Okay. All right, guys. So like I said, I won't be there next week, Friday or Saturday, but Sunday probably for sure. So we're gonna dive into the red car theory, theme, or whatever it is. Oh, Dave's coming back real quick. Hello, my little jungle friend.
Hello, this is for Jenny Loves Jay. Okay,
Yeah.
now, and this is a tip that I have to give. If you have a link to become a member in your about section, or if you have a link in your description to be a member, if you're
Yeah.
on an iPhone, you need to go to that section of the person's channel, okay, and then you can click on the link for the membership in the about section, or in the in the description, wherever you've got your link for membership. Okay, click on that and open in Safari, and then you can join on an iPhone. That's the
Okay.
easiest way to do it. That's why you should always have a link to join in your about section, because that way people can open it in Safari. They cannot open it directly out of chat,
Their phones.
because on an iPhone it'll work on a Samsung, but it won't work on an iPhone. So because it wants to open it in the YouTube app, and you actually can't join through the YouTube app on an iPhone. Okay, so it must be an external link that you use. So open in Safari, and then you can join the channel that way a lot easier through your iPhone.
Okay. Thank you. I just put the link up to my channel in the comments, in the chat.
In the chat, yeah. Well, that's fine for everyone else who doesn't have an iPhone. But if you have an iPhone, that link, that membership link, should be put into your about section, and then people on an iPhone can always join from the about section.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna do this in a second when I'm finished here.
No problem at all.
I put this in my about section.
Yes,
okay,
absolutely.
Thank you so much, Dave.
No worries at all. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye once again.
Bye. All right, now we know how that works. Does it work now for you, Jenny? I hope so. Anyways, thanks for joining. If you find the link and if you can manage to join. All right, guys, like I said, probably next week, Sunday, we're gonna see us again. I'll be also probably doing a members only stream and chat, because I really, really enjoyed chatting and streaming with you guys last night. That was absolutely amazeballs. And we are a really, really good study group. But yeah, to keep everything a little bit more private, I've decided to do members only streams and chats from time to time, so we can share our thoughts on the case. Okay, what else is there to say? We see each other next week, Sunday. I'm gonna put the link up as soon as I halfway through preparation of that stream, and you guys will be hearing from me. All right, let's all have a great night or a great day and enjoy the rest of your Sunday, guys. Be good to each other, be nice. I don't want to mimic Daniel Bishop, but it is what it is. Life is hard enough, and it's not worth to spread hate and drama. All right? Okay, much love to you guys. See you next week, Sunday. Bye bye.